Hello everyone, welcome back. So what we are going to discuss in this particular video. So we're going to discuss about the MaxBy and the MinBy which we discussed in the comparator examples, right? So what I'm going to do is let's take in a use case example. So what I want to do is I have a list of persons and I want to get the tallest person in this particular list and also the shortest person in the particular list. Let's do that. So I'm going to create a new class here. So it's gonna stream min max by example. So I need to have a main method here. So I added a main also. So let's do that. Let me create a simple method which will return the tallest person. Okay. So let's write a method static person get tallest person. Okay. So for now I'm going to return null. So we can modify the data later. Okay, so first of all we need to retrieve the information from the repository. So the person repository dot get all the person information. Okay, then we are going to open the stream. So what we are going to do, so I'm trying to retrieve the the tallest person in the particular group. So I'm not going to do any filter here because we can use the max by operator from the collectors. So I'm going to collect the data dot collect. So I'm going to use the collector here, collector dot MaxBy. One second. COLLEC collectors, right? Yep. Collectors dot MaxBy. So have you just take a look at it. MaxBy is expecting a comparator, and we know how to use the comparator. Okay, because we discussed in the previous examples, right? So I'm going to use the comparator here. Comparator dot one second. Comparator dot comparing. The function is going to be, so which function I'm going to retrieve the person information based on the height, right? So person and get height. Okay, so here the list of persons and here list of the stream of persons, and then I'm collecting the data and I'm using a collector.maxby which will help us to get the tallest person, because maxby is always look for the tallest person or the maximum number. Okay, so maxby will always accept a comparator. So here I'm going to use a comparator at comparing. So what is the condition here? So what is the parameter from the person? I'm going to use the height. Okay, let's return the same thing, comment out, and we can return this particular. Okay, one second, return or okay, but if you take a look at it, still I'm getting an exception, right? Just see the error message. Change method return type to be optional person, because when you are using collectors or maxby or comparator, it will always return the optional. Okay, so instead of person, because as I said earlier, optional is the biggest thing which is comes in Java 8. We will discuss about a lot in a separate section, but for now I'm going to use the optional. So now there will be gone. Got it? So we know that how to get the data from the optional. We can use the dot get. Okay, let me print that. Tallest person. get tallest person, and I need to use the get method to retrieve the data. Okay, so let's run this method and see the outcome. See, the tallest person is John, who has a height of 165. Let's open the repository and we can verify that manually once. 165 here, but all of them are below 165, so he is the tallest person. So I'm going to create another method which will return the shortest person. So obviously it has to return 110, but let's verify from the code. Okay, so it's not much changes in your code. Second, just copy the method, just change the method name, get shortest person. Here instead of MaxBy we're going to use a MinBy. That is the only change. So I'm going to print the data here. So instead of tallest person, I'm going to use the shortest person and get shortest person dot get. Okay, let's run this. Run this. See, the tallest person is John and the shortest person is Alan, and the height is 110, which we already seen in the repository. Okay, is there any other things which we need to take in care in this particular example? Yes, we do. Just open the person repository and see all of them are unique value. So what will happen if I have a two persons with has same height? Let me create another person here, P7. So instead of John, I'm going to use Campbell, or okay, Campbell, and the height is 65, and just modify some other data, male, and you can remove just okay. So now let's open the code and just run the method again and see what is the outcome of it. John, run it again. You're always getting one value, correct? But in the repository we have a two persons which has the same height, correct? So how are we going to handle those kind of scenarios? Okay, there is a way to handle that also. Let's do that. I'm going to create another method, static. So it is going to return list of persons, right? List of person, get or filter multiple data or multiple persons. Okay, so the first what let me return something, or else it will keep saying error, so we can return the data later. So first I need to have a list of persons. I need a list so I can store the data here. Person list equal to new array list, new array list. Okay, got it. Okay, then so now what we are going to do, we are going to retrieve the max by, I mean to say the tallest person. So we can simply use this particular method, right? It will return the get tallest person, right? So from here what you can do is, so it's gonna return the optional of person, max height. Okay, so you can use get tallest person, so which will return the tallest person in the group. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether this particular person is exist, or we may get null also, right? So we can do a validation here, person person equaled. So I'm checking max height. If it's an optional data, I mean optional type, there is a method called isPresent which will take in care of the null and the empty check. Okay, we will discuss everything about the optional in a later point, but for now max height dot is present. If present, then person dot, sorry, if present, max height dot get, or else just a null. And then I'm gonna put a simple null check. If null not equal to person. So this is the place we are going to retrieve the exact list. Okay, we are going to use the stream and the filter to retrieve the data. Okay, so what I'm going to do is person repository dot get all persons, right? So then open the stream, and then we need to filter the data, because I'm going to check, I have a the tallest person in my group. I'm going to check each and every member in the same group. Is any of the person's height is matched with the maximum height? If both are matched, I'll add it into the list. Okay, so I'm going to check. So person here, so person dot get height equal to the person dot get height. That means there is some other person here. It has to be person. So the person from this particular loop checking whether is there any person which has the same height. Correct? So get height, and then so once the predication is done, then we will collect the data, and we are going to collect the data as a list here. So we all know how to collect the data with the help of collectors dot toList, right? Done. So we can return the data as a person list. So this person list contains all the person list which has the same height. Control C and return the list here. Okay, just take a look at the code again. The first thing, I have a empty list which I'm going to use it for store the person list. I mean person details, and I'm checking who has the maximum height, and I'm storing it to in a variable, and I'm checking whether the height or the person is present. If present, get the data, or else return null, and I'm checking null. If null, we're not going to do anything. If not null, then only we are processing. So I'm getting the data from the repository and open the stream and filter the data based on this condition, which is nothing but the data from the list. The height is equal to the max of the tallest guy in the group, and then I'm collecting the data as a list, and I'm returning back to the same collection. Okay, so let me print that system.out.println. So tallest group. So filter by multiple persons. So let me run this and see what is going to be the outcome of it. So now I have two details. First one is John, and second one is, what is the problem here? We are supposed to get the two persons, right? Because we have a two persons. Let me open the person. I mean person repository 165 and 165. What else is here? Two. Okay, did I save it? Okay, let's save it again. Open it. Okay, everything looks same. Tallest person. Why you are getting only one? Let's fill it out. We need to find out why it is not returning the second data. Okay, let me open the person repository. Okay, this is a problem. So I created a new person, but I forgot to add it into the list when I'm returning it. Okay, let's go back and run it again. Run as a Java application. See, we are good to go. Now we got two person. The first one is John and second is Campbell who has the same height. Okay. So let's with this we came to end of this particular video, and the next video we're gonna talk about something called limit. Thank you.